Okay, I'm going to start with bank recons today because Khari said that is one of the things that you are actually complained about that you don't know with the accounting equation of last time. And then, okay, before I start, I still, they told me the other day I must still give 2 classes, also on a Saturday, for preparation for the exams. But next week, Saturday, I want for myself, so it's not going to be next Saturday, but the following 2 Saturdays after that, I'll give workshops again, but I want to know from you people, what exactly is it that you are battling with? If you can maybe send me a specific question or question paper or whatever. I just want to see, then I can, according to that, prepare workshops, as I say, for Saturdays in the next 2 weeks. I know someone asked about that. I'll touch on that when I'm done with the reconciliation, but that's a very extensive topic. So I want to know exactly what is it that you need help with, because as I say, there's still 2 Saturdays that I'll give workshops, but not nearly know, I don't really know what I should do it about. Okay, but anyway, let's start with, I'm going to do 2 different examples on bank recons. It's actually not, it's one of the easier topics for me. Okay. I'm not going to write on anything. This is the books of PLS attorneys. Just to give you that clue word. Then they say the balance in the bank account. I'm just going to start with this. I'll show you now why I give that. At the end of June, they give you a bank balance as 2190, and then they also say the bank statement, the balance on that. The bank statement balance was an overdraft of 540. Okay, so to do bank recons, it's actually like last time I did was the bank. So you only have to do 2 things to balance or get the same amount. Obviously, you can see here the balance in the books is 2190, but the bank gives you a different balance. Okay, so the only thing you have to do is you have to do a bank account. Let's, yeah, and then the other thing you have to do is, I'm not going to write everything in detail, is the bank recon on the last day, what. The bank recon, you also have a debit in the credit. Okay, just the first thing that you should know. Okay, they say that the balance at the end of June is 2190. They don't really say that it's a positive or a negative, but yeah, so we assume that it's just write it, yeah. So you remember from last time, your bank, all the money that you receive comes on the debit side, or the payments. Let me just, so it's the normal bank balance on this side. Okay, it's obviously your debit, but on this side, all your deposits, all the money that you receive comes on the debit side. All your payments is done on the credit side. Okay, that's the first thing that you must know. Okay, so in this case, they give you a balance. If they said that that your bank is in overdraft. Obviously, then you will have a credit balance. But if they don't specify anything, you have a positive balance on the debit side. Okay. Okay, so this is only if there's an overdraft. Then obviously you put it there. Okay, so the bank is easy like last time. Yeah. Then what you must remember, the bank recon. Everything is opposite. Okay, bank recon. Um, Bank recon works opposite to the way you do your bank account. So all deposits in your on the debit side of your bank account is actually going to the credit side. Ooh, sorry. Let me just take that out. Okay. So the deposits, which is in your debit side, goes to the bank recon on the credit side. Let's just write deposits there. Okay. And if you have to make a payment, which is on your credit side in your books, it's coming to the debit side of your bank recon. So that's basically, I'm going to do an example now, but that's basically what it boils down to. If something is on the credit side in your books, it must go to the debit side in the bank recon. Opposite to that, if a deposit or something on the debit side of the bank, then it must go to the credit side of the bank recon. So if you remember that principle, then everything will be fine. Then and then your thing will balance. We'll do an example now. Just the last, let me just write here. Okay, yeah, you're first going to start with a balance as given on the bank statement. Yeah, they gave you a bank's balance which was in overdraft, meaning that, okay, but now, yeah, I did this now wrong. If, sorry. Okay, so the first two balances given, there it was 2190 in your bank account. Then they say the bank statement is got a bank overdraft, meaning that actually in your books, your balances was now actually on this side. So if your balance is on the credit side for an overdraft, it means yes, the recording. Someone is already busy with the recording as far as I know. Is said to, yeah, patience. As I say, I'm not sure, but someone is busy recording it. So yes, just ask the people of UNISA that invited you for this workshop. They will give you the recording afterwards. Okay. Okay, to get back to the overdraft. So this 540 is a bank's the balance overdraft. So it means that in your books, overdraft balance will be on the credit side. But then it means that if you go to the bank recon, you have to go and write the balance on the debit side. So everything works opposite. But there's only one thing that's not working opposite. Then you do all your rectifying all the mistakes. Then the last one, yeah, will be the balance as per bank account. Then if you have a positive balance here, then you're also going to have a positive balance here. So that's the only thing that's not going to be opposite. All the other calculations that you have to do, put it on the debit or the credit side, is going to work opposite. But the very last value before you balance your bank recon, this balance here must be, if it's on the debit side in your bank account, it must be on the debit side in your bank recon as well. Opposite to that, if the balance is on the credit side, you're obviously going to have the balance there on the credit side. Okay, so that's the only transaction that's going according to how it's done in your books. All the other stuff is opposite to what you do in your bank account. Okay, any questions? Nothing? Okay. I wonder. Okay, let's start on a new page. Okay, so I gave you that the bank, let me just change my. Okay, so we started off with a bank balance like I explained in the previous, on the previous page. They gave you a balance for 2190, and then you do your bank recon. Okay, debit, credit. Okay, and then here you start off with a balance as per bank statement. And they said it was an overdraft. So if it's an overdraft, it actually means it comes on the debit side, like I explained just now. Okay, then now to do the next transactions. Okay, let's do a new page and then I'm going to write all the encryptions and then I'll get back to that one. Okay, now they say the bookkeeper did know the books, and when they got the statement, they found out that during June, they found a few things that you now have to change. Okay, data. Let's say D Downs, whatever, doesn't matter what's his name, but he paid 700 Rand and 750 directly into what is this now? PLS attorneys. PLS attorneys. They paid the money directly into the PLS bank account. Okay. Each switch camera off. Okay. Okay, I'll do it step by step. Now, the first one they say, because the two balances are not the same, you obviously now have to compare your books with the bank statements to see what you did wrong and what the bank did wrong so that you can get to the same balance. Okay, so the first thing, a debtor, D Downs, he paid 700 Rand, 750 into your bank account. But you don't know about it, you just saw it now on the bank statement. Okay, so if you go, now I just have to go back to, oh, sorry, that's my other class. Okay, so now you've got a bank account and you've got a bank recon. What are you going to do? Where are you going to change which balance? If it was paid into, let me just get my pen right. Okay, just want to change this balance here. Okay, balance. Okay, that's your bank account, that's your bank statement. But the debtor paid into your bank, into your business account in the bank, but which one are you going to change? Are you going to change your bank account or are you going to change the bank recon? Where do you think the change must come? Where must you change something? If it was paid directly into the bank account, obviously you don't know about it and you haven't done it in your books. Do you agree? Yes, no? Okay. Next thing, a debtor is paying you money. So it's obviously money that you receive. So then you have to put it into your bank account. So if you receive money, is it coming to the debit side or the credit side? If you receive money from a debtor.
Debit.
Debit. Okay, so let me just write it here. I'm just going to write debtors. You can write the whatever. I'm just going to illustrate to you what to do. So you can now see that if people are paying money directly into your bank account, or maybe it's an EFT going off every month for the insurance or whatever, then it will be in your bank statement, but not in your bank account. So actually, all the transactions you get, you must just think for yourself, where is this transaction now and where must I change what? So you agree that the 750 must go into your bank account because it's already reflecting on the bank statement. Okay. Questions? Okay. Okay, I'm just going to write the next one. If you want to ask something. Okay. Then the bank by mistake okay, they debited PLS attorneys, and we're doing now the books for PLS attorneys. The bank by mistake debited with they refer to checks here, but it's actually EFT. But yeah, let's write my check. They do it most EFT these days. A check for 2250 drawn by PLY attorneys. Okay. So before I say the answer, I'm so lost. Okay, Tembeka, where are you lost? Before I do number 2. Okay, must I go back to the... Okay, no, it's not that one. This one. Where are you lost? What don't you understand? Tembeka? Because as I say, if you understand what to do, this is real, yeah, well, the bank recon. Okay, I'm busy with the bank recon, but okay, let's just recap. When you have to do, or let's recap from the start. You get a bank balance in your books, the end of the uh, month or whenever you do your books. And you see there's a balance. Say this 2190. You balance your books and you see that's the balance. That is what should be in your bank account according to your books. But then the end of each month, you receive a bank statement. And the bank statement is reflecting all your payments and also the money that you received. And you must compare the bank statement with your books to see if the bank deposited all your money and all the payments you made, if they paid the different people and so on. Because you must check that every month to see who was paid and who not. That's why you do a bank reconciliation. So the bank account, you change in your books what you made some kind of mistake with. And if it's a bank recon doing a transaction there, then the bank made some kind of mistake and the bank recon is what you are drafting so that you can send it to the bank and say, listen, this and this you did wrong. Please fix your mistakes. You understand? So the bank recon is like you draft the bank reconciliation statement, and then you're going to send it to the bank and say, listen, this mustn't be here, this must be here, this I acknowledge, and. That's why you have to do a bank reconciliation. Okay, let's go to the following number. Now the next statement says the bank by mistake debited your books or your banks. No, the bank by mistake debited you. You are doing the books for PLS attorneys. Okay, so the bank by mistake debited in your bank statement, they debited a check of 2250, but it was actually supposed to be for another attorneys, a PLY attorneys. Okay, so now you're going to tell the bank, yay, you have to change your mistake here. Take out this 2250. It's not a check that was supposed to be in my bank account. Okay, but now you must think. Okay, let's just go back here. If you were supposed to pay someone, okay, let's just put the just going to change the colors. Remember, all your payments is coming on the credit side, and all your deposits or money that you receive come on the debit side. Deposits. Okay, so if just going to change. Okay, so according to the bank, you made a payment of 2250. Or that's actually what the bank says you did. Nee? But you never made that because it's not for you. But it's not you're not going to change your bank account because you didn't do a transaction like that. It's the bank that made the mistake. So if the bank made the mistake, you have to go to the bank recon and say, okay, now remember, if you did a payment, if it was you that made the payment, is on the credit side here in your account. So it will go to the debit side actually on the bank statement. But now it's already there on the bank statement there, but you don't want it there because it's not you that made that payment. The bank made the mistake. So to take out this debit, you're going to put it on the credit side. Let me just take this out. The rule, sorry. Okay, and then you just say correct the error or whatever. Correct the error. Can you see that the bank made the mistake and they said that they debited your account, which was supposed to be there, but or they did do it there, but it's wrong. So to take it away, that's why you put it to the credit side. Are you all with me? Okay, so while you type, I'm going to put the next scenario. Okay, and then you usually, oh no, it's first this one. Okay, they say, okay, on the bank statement, it also reflects okay, this is an old example where they still refer to checks. I see these days they refer to EFTs, but yeah, doesn't matter. Principle stays the same. A check of 300 Rand. Yeah, that's actually why I want to do this. As I say, I'm not sure if they still do it, but it used to be a question everywhere. A check of 300 Rand received. I'm just going to say debtors. I'm not going to write down the names now. Was dishonored. So, okay, let me first just write it down. Returned on 28 June. Just going to write it like that. Okay. So as I say, I see this in quite a lot of examples. If they still do it like this these days, I'm not sure. But what it boils down to, maybe in fraud cases, it can still happen like that. Someone sent you a check or someone paid you and you received the 300 Rand from the debtors. But then the bank actually saw that that check, what they call dishonor, it's like the check bounced. Or someone can also these days, if they do it with the EFT, it looks like they paid money into your account, but then when you go and look, it's actually not. That's why I say fraud these days is real. So some people will, how can I say, they will forge a payment and it will seems like you received the money, but then after a few days, when the bank cleared the money, then they saw actually the money is not there. Okay, so this is what this statement is saying. A bank statement, let's say it's a check. You received a check from debtors for 300 Rand. So this is already in your bank account. But now the bank says, this money must be taken out of your bank account. What are you going to do now? So it was already in the bank account. It was already in your books. The bank, it shows on the bank statement that the check bounced or the money is not there. So it's already on the bank statement. So obviously you have to do something in your books now. Okay, so what are you going to do? Debit, credit? bank account, bank recon. Where are you going to put that? How much was it? 300 Rand. Okay, but now, before you can think where to put it, just think for yourself, how did you do it when you received the money? Okay, so remember when you received money, you would have, let me just change the colors to show you. You would have, or you did do it a previous month. You received here 300 Rand from the debtors. And obviously it went through your bank statement as well. But now you have to reverse this transaction. So how are you going to do that? You're going to put it on the credit side of debtors. Okay, so this was done a previous month. So you're not going to write it again there. I'm just showing you so that you can, if you know in your head what was done previously, then you know how to fix it now. Okay, so a previous month, you did put on the debit side of bank, you put debtors for 300 Rand. But now since that check bounced and you have to reverse the transaction, you're going to put it on the credit side. Okay, so that is what you should do in this transaction. Any questions? You understand? You have questions? Okay, so while you're typing, I'll write the next scenario. Sorry, change my colors quickly. Then this is a favorite one that's always there. In the bank statement, you see that they, the bank likes to charge you without you knowing it. And then they already took off their bank charges and stuff. So that's usually not in your books and you have to put it there. It's interest that you paid on an overdraft, I suppose, service fees, and you paid for a checkbook. As I say, this is an old example. No one is working with checkbooks these days, but just to show you, there's still bank charges. It's just other ways of admin fees and whatever that they justify it now. Okay, so can we open the microphone? Yes, you can. Please do. I would prefer if you ask questions while I'm writing or whenever, if you want to ask questions. Then Becca, what's your question? Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
No,
you first.
I don't have any question. I just wanted to clear that next time I have
Oh,
a question.
please, yeah. As I say, I give a class on Monday night as well, and it's actually very nice if the people interact with me because it's like I'm talking to a wall. I don't know what you understand. If I'm so good that you understand everything the first time, which I know it's not the case, but yeah, if you people not tell me what you don't understand, then yeah, then I can't help you.
So, ma'am,
Okay.
can I ask Monday night what time?
Monday night, this coming Monday is a holiday, but the following Monday is always 5 to 7, but that's more quantitative literacy that I'm giving.
Okay, ma'am.
It's yeah, it's not the accounting classes I'm giving on a Saturday, but on Monday I'm giving for quantitative literacy, like stats, QMI, um, what's the others, BNU, all the other subjects. I'm giving workshops on a Monday, and there they know by now, yeah, that they just put on their mics and ask me right away. How can we contact? Okay, I'll give you my number now. Okay, I'll give you my number now. The Marv, Oh, and the names is very difficult to pronounce. I'll give you my WhatsApp and my email because please, I'm doing the bank recons today, but I still have to prepare for 2 more workshops for you people. But I'm lost there because I don't know um, what do you want workshops on. So if you can just or give me an example of a question that you're battling with, or what exactly is it that you want to know, then it's also easier for me to prepare because I'm also in the dark, yeah, because I don't know what to teach you, but for now it's bank recons. But anyway, yeah, so Monday nights is quantitative literacy that I'm teaching, and then 2 more Saturdays, the accounting. But I'll give you my WhatsApp number now. Just give me a minute. Um, just to show this one quickly, on the bank statement, you'll usually see there's fees. It's just everyone has got a bank account. If you go to your bank, the beginning of the month, there's a quick 100 or 200 Rand just disappearing. The bank is not shy to ask their fees or whatever. So it's the same with this. Your bank statements, there's always interest is obviously an expense. Service fees, checkbook is also expenses, but you must show it in your bank accounts. Okay, so obviously it's a payment that you have to make. You have to pay the expenses. So interest is usually on its own. Interest, 45 Rand. And then the other one, I'm somewhere just going to write bank charges. And that's the 69 and the 6. So yeah, 2 charges. Okay, so just to come back to this one, if you see on the bank statement that there's certain, you'll see some EFTs or some direct deposits in there, then you must know where to change it. But yeah, the bank statement, they just charge you interest rate, bank charges and everything, but you have to show it in your bank account. Okay, I'm just going to a new page, then I'll get back to that one. My WhatsApp number, I'm Lisa de Silva. My number is 0716849348. Or if you want to email me, the Silva L, it's a small L, at I'm working at the University of the Free State. So that's my email address, and that's my WhatsApp number. So you can contact me on there. Okay. Okay. But yeah, to come back to the question now. Oh God, what did I do now? Let me just get out. Okay, sorry. Okay, you all got that? Okay, let's just get back to the example. Okay, so can you see that the bank charges that was on the statement, you have to put into your bank account? Okay, any questions there? Okay, let's give you another example.
So, ma'am, can I ask a question?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Let's say the money was sent to your account via EFT. So does it change?
Yeah, I'm going to do one like that now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my my next example. Okay, first I'm going to do a debit order or a stop order. I don't know how you call it. Let's say a debit order. A debit order that you sign for your each month to go off for the fire insurance of 405 Rand. Okay, and then they say only appear on bank statement. This is now like the EFTs. I'll show you now one that's a deposit as well. Okay, so this one, the bank statement says that the debit order went off. Sorry. Sorry. The debit order went off. It shows like that on the bank statement for your insurance that you pay every month. Okay, once again, it's already on your bank statement. So then you have to go and do it in your bank account. And the payment is done on that side. Insurance. Okay. So that's also quite easy. So it already went through your bank account or the bank statement, but you didn't show it in your books yet. So that's why you have to go and do it there. Okay. Then the other way around. Let me just get to the next one. Now, I can do it. Okay, this is now we're paying something here. But if you receive money in your bank account, it's just going to be opposite. So bank is yes. The bank recon is actually you are doing a statement to tell the bank, listen, this you did wrong and this you must do like this. So it's actually the bank recon is a statement you're going to send to the bank and say, listen, change this and this on my bank statement. Yeah.
So, ma'am, can I ask
Yes. Mm.
on the bank account? So
Mm.
it's payments and debits.
Let me just go to the bank account. Okay, there it is. Okay. Yes, the payments. Yeah.
It's payments. So payments are under credit.
Yeah. Yeah. This is your credits. Yeah. Yeah. Credits where now? Credit on your. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's a credit on your bank account because remember, your bank is like an asset to you. But if you diminish your asset, you're going to credit it, like I said last time. So if you do a payment, it comes on the credit side of your bank account, but on the debit side of the bank balance. No, not the bank balance, the bank statement.
Oh, it's credit to me.
Yes.
Debits
Yeah,
on the
it's
statement.
yes, but
Mm.
you must go and see in this. Okay, let me just go to the example again. Look at that number 5. It says a debit order for fire insurance only appear on the bank statement. So it already appeared on the bank statement, but you didn't put it into your books yet.
Okay.
You see, so that's actually what this bank recon is. You must go and sit each correction or each statement that is made, each correction that you have to do. You have to go and sit and think, okay, where is this? And, is it in my bank account or is it the bank's mistake that they have to change it? Then you put it in the statement. So each how can I say, change that you have to make, each number, you must go and sit and think for yourself, okay, like the number 4, that those expenses already is appearing in your bank recon or your bank statement, but you didn't indicate it in your bank account yet. Okay, so you must go and sit and think, where was the transaction done already, and where must you go and put it to get to the two balances being the same. Okay, so like this one, number 5, they say a debit order for insurance. So it already went off your bank, your money in the bank, but you didn't showed it in your books. And your books must coincide with the bank statements. Otherwise, money disappeared somewhere and you don't know where. Also, why you are doing it, to see that no one is stealing your money.
Oh, I understand, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, and now I'm going to do the other one, but I'm going to do it the other way around. Now I say, deposit of 3890 appears in your books. What is the people? PLS attorneys or something. Okay, now it appears in the books, but not in the bank statement. Not in bank statement. Okay, so what now? Now it's the opposite to number 5, because in number 5, it appeared in the bank statement, but not in your books. Now, number 6, the deposit appears in your books, but the bank still didn't put it into their statement. Okay, now we go back again. Okay, so where are you going to do that transaction? How are you going to change it? Because now remember, how much was the amount? Let me just change the color. Yeah. So what they are saying is they say that the deposit already appears here, 3890. So it's debtors or whatever. So it's appearing here, but it's not appearing in your bank statement. So where are you going to put it in your bank statement?
We're going to put it under bank reconciliation, credit side.
Yes, I. So I'm going to do it with red so that you can see. So 38. Okay, so it's not going there. It must go to the bank recon, and then you just say outstanding deposit. Just see. Okay, I'm just writing it now with red. It doesn't really matter. Outstanding deposit. Okay, so maybe that's also answering your previous question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so just go and make sure if you get a statement that you must make sure where does it appear already. Did you do it in your books, or is it appearing in the statement? And wherever it's not appearing, you just have to change it. And if you remember that principle, then it's actually, yeah, then bank recons is actually quite easy to do. Okay. Okay, now there's 2 more, then we're done with this one. Then I'm going to do it the other way. Okay, let's do another one. Yeah, just want to change my color. Okay, now okay, now I'm saying outstanding checks. Okay, let me just write it, then I'll explain. presented to the bank 2475. Okay, this is still also a few years back when you paid someone, say with a check, and they didn't go and cash it yet. So this is actually what it's saying here. Outstanding check that is not being presented to the bank, 2475. Okay, so now you did pay someone. Let me just go back to the bank account. Okay, so if you think now, you issued these checks for 2475, meaning that you already put it in your bank account, but it wasn't presented to the bank yet. Okay, so obviously it must come in the, where are you going to put it? In your bank account or in your bank recon?
Bank account.
No, you already just understand outstanding bank. Just
please,
going to.
yes, please repeat the question.
Okay, yeah. Let's just go back to what I wrote. Then you can see outstanding checks not yet presented to the bank. So that means you paid someone. You wrote out a check and you say, okay, I pay you 2475, and then they must go to the bank and they have to go and deposit into their account. So it's a payment you made, but it's not clear through the bank yet. So it's already through your bank account. Actually, you see here, it's not presented to the bank.
Oh, then we're going to put it under bank reconciliation.
Okay, let's just go there. Okay, and then since it was a payment made, you were supposed, or you did write it on the credit side. So now the outstanding check will be
Under
debit
debit.
side,
Yes.
2475.
Right.
And then, yeah, it's an outstanding check. Okay. You got it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other questions here? There's only one more. Then we're going to balance this one.
So, ma'am,
Can you please repeat this question, because I don't understand when it says not presented or not.
Okay, yeah, let me just go back to the question. As I say, if the people are doing the questions more up to date, this, I suppose, won't be a question. It was a while back when, say, you owed, say, you as your business now, you bought, say, furniture, say 1,000 Rand, and you paid them with a check. So you wrote a piece of paper, or it was a check those days, and you say, okay, I bought the furniture, here's your money. But it was in terms of a check. Then it means that you gave them the check, then that person must go to his bank account and go and pay it into his bank account. You understand? But now this person didn't do it yet, because that's what they say. Outstanding checks means you wrote out a check to someone and they didn't go and deposited it into their bank account. So it shows in your bank account, but it's not showing in your bank statement, because no one wanted to get that money that you were writing the check for. You understand? But that's now a few years ago. I'm not sure how they're going to draft the questions these days, but I've got another one that's more in terms of just EFTs and stuff like that. I'll show you now. Maybe maybe you're too young to understand text, but as I say, I got this one. It's also actually from a legal accounting book. So yeah, I'm not sure how they do the questions these days, if it's just EFTs or are they still referring to checks? Because as I say, checks is a bit out of date, if you want to put it that way. I'm not sure if anyone is even using checks anymore. But what it boils down to is you paid someone and they didn't go and clear it from, or they didn't go and deposit it into their bank account. And that's why it didn't go through your bank statement yet. Okay.
Yes, I understand. Thank you.
Okay. One more on this, and then I'll show you a more recent example that I got where it's just EFTs and stuff, but it's two different ways of asking. Now my pen is, okay, my pen is still ready, doesn't matter. Okay. Client. Yes,
Sorry,
I'm
Sylvia.
listening.
Let's say I'm in an exam, ne?
Yes.
So when I'm doing bank reconciliation,
Mm-hmm.
it's a principle that under my bank, I
Mm.
always put deposits and payments.
Yes. Yes. Okay, I'll come back to your question now. I just want to write here, a debitor deposited that directly into the bank account. Okay, maybe that's also what you were asking. Bank, okay, now bank account. Let's take that out. Continue with the red. Bank account. Okay, I'll come back to your question now. I just want to show you here a different one. Here, the person directly, debtor, is obviously someone that owes you money. He went to the bank and he paid directly into the bank, 1,100. Okay, so obviously that money is showing in your bank statement, but it's not appearing in your books because you didn't know about this person paying you money if you only saw it now in the bank statement. You understand? So if people are paying directly into your bank account or payments are made like the fire or whatever, then it's not in your books yet, but you have to do it in your books that you can show, you know, who paid what and so on. Okay, so just to go back to that bank statement. Okay, so if you receive money, where is that 1,100 going to be?
Bank reconciliation.
No, the bank.
The debit side, the bank debit.
Yes. Okay, what was the amount? 1,100. 1,100, and you received it from debtors. Okay, so just remember now, the bank sent you a statement saying that there was a deposit made directly here. I'll show you now the next example. If you get the statements and the bank account, maybe you'll understand better then. But anyway, the bank sent you a statement that debtors who, yeah, there was a name to it as well. This person paid money directly into our account, but you have to change it in your books. So then it means it's already in the bank statement, but you have to do it in your bank account. Okay, so yeah, this is now enough for this example. I'll show you now another one. But yeah, that's basically what bank recon is coming down to. You must go and think for yourself, the transaction that they are referring to, is it in the bank statement or is it in your bank account? And wherever it's not, obviously, you have to put it in there. Okay. Any questions? Okay, now the next, now you have to, you know how to balance an account? I'm sorry, going to do the balancing now that I see it's already 10 o'clock. I want to do another one quickly. Okay, since I've done this now already, I know that the debit side is 3950. Sorry, I don't have enough space now, yeah? So then this one is also 3950. And then the balance carried forward is what? 3125. Okay, you can go and do that on your own. Do you know how to balance a account? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay, so you take on both sides, you take the biggest amount, which in this side is now the debit side, the 3950. Then you just add up all the other values and you get the difference. Okay, but what I want to show you, that balance, you see, is carried forward. So it's actually going to be a debit balance. Okay, then you write here. Balance as per bank. And then hopefully if you've done everything correct, your values will balance. Okay, so as I say, everything is opposite except for this last one. Here you say the balance as per bank account. And if it's a debit balance, you write it on the debit side. If it's a credit balance, you write it there. So all the others is opposites because the bank must do the changes. But this is just to show the bank that this is my balance according to my books, and that is what you should get as well. So if there's a debit balance in your bank account, you write it as a debit balance here in your bank recon as well. Just remember that. That's the last trick of the bank recons. But none of the other transactions, just the last one, the balance as per bank account.
So, ma'am, when we are balancing the bank account, we add the on the bank statement on the debit side and on the bank reconciliation on the credit side.
Yes, you have to. Yes. You have to add the debit side and then you get that 6140. And then on the credit side, you must add those two values and you must also get that. And if you don't get the values right, you obviously know that you did something wrong.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So usually the first time around, Karabu, why are you saying no? Sorry, I only see it now. Oh, maybe you said no, that you don't know how to balance. Okay, but yes. So if everything, all the transaction you did was done correctly, you should get the same value on the debit side as on the credit side. And if you get different values, you know that one of the transactions you did was wrong. was on the debit side and it's supposed to be on the credit side, or whatever the case may be. So it's just a way for you to control that if both the debit and the credit side is the same, then you know, hopefully, you've done your work correctly. Okay. More questions? Let's do another example. Okay, we're going to do the books for Mr. James Solomon. Okay. Okay, the accounting records show a favorable bank balance of 22,620. Okay, they don't. Where's now 22 is a bank balance. And the following which rise stop order. Well, here in the end, it says, okay, bank. Okay, let's now go according to the example. And before taking the one which relates to that into consideration. Okay, so they give you this bank balance, then they say, let's start anew, according to the bank statement. The following be taken into consideration. Okay, now they say the first one is the bank charges. So they went to the bank statement and they saw these bank charges for 620. That's not in your bank account yet. They also see and let's almost say no, an electronic transfer of ach toch I want to take that out and I also don't do it. Actually an electronic transfer of funds. Electronic transfer received from a debtor Okay. First, just going to stop here and then I'll write the others. Then they also say stop order or a debit order. So my stop order for the insurance was 3,900. Okay. Let's not do everything. Diary for rental. Okay, let's before I carry on. Okay, so first of all, here they give you the bank balance. Okay, let's go to a new page. Okay, you start with your bank. Let's see, yeah, it's quite a lot. Okay, they say it's a favorable bank balance. So on which side is your balance coming if you have a favorable bank balance?
On a debit side.
On the debit side. Okay, so we put the 22,620, your balance there. Then, okay, I'll do the bank recon now. I just want to, where is mine? Okay, so the bank balance you put there. Now, they say, according to the bank statement, the following must still be taken into account. So you are going to do the following changes that I gave you. You're going to do that in your bank account because they told you that in the bank statement, obviously bank charges must be charged, the 620. Also, an electronic transfer received. So it's money that you received. And then the next one is insurance that you paid. Okay, so all of that must be done in your bank account. Okay, so the bank charges, obviously it's a payment. So it comes to the credit side. So your bank charges, you put there 620. If you received money from a debtor, is it going to be positive or debit side or credit side? Debit. Because it's money that the bank statement shows you that you received, but you didn't put it into your bank account yet. Debtors. Okay. Then the next one says you're paying insurance. Okay. Debit side or credit side?
Credit.
Credit. So that's an expense you're paying. So it's insurance. Okay, so that's still easy. Now, okay, I'm going to change it a bit. Now, let's go to this one. Okay, now the following one says the bank by mistake debited stop order of 7819. That should have gone down. Okay, I'm just going to write here of a Jean Solomon. Solomon. Okay, and just to go back, the books that you're doing here is for Mr. James Solomon. So James Solomon is the owner of this business, doing the bank account for him and everything. But now the bank, by mistake, debited a stop order of that amount of money to Jean Solomon. Sick now. Against Mr. James Solomon's account. Okay. Okay, so before we go further, where are you going to rectify this mistake? In your bank account or in the bank recon?
In the bank record.
That's it. Because, okay, before I go on here at the bottom, should actually have put it there at the top. Let me just, I'm someone going to squish it in here. The bank statement, because I want to start with the bank recon now, showed a favorable balance of, the right balance now, of 27329. Sorry, I'm just squishing it in there. Okay, at the end of February. Okay, so I'm just going to move down a bit. So there's a few transactions. Okay, so you start the bank recon. Then obviously you start off with a debit, credit, the balance given through this. Let me just write here, balance of the bank statement that you don't get confused. Okay, so if it's a favorable balance, it actually means that you have a debit balance. But remember, the first transactions must all be opposite. So where's a favorable balance in your bank statement going to be?
What side?
On the? Sorry, I just didn't hear. Where did you say? On the?
On the credit side.
Credit, yeah. Okay, that's correct. 27329. Okay, so now just to go back to that statement that I said. Okay, so the bank by mistake debited a stop order of that against our account, the James Solomon's account, but they did that wrong and you want to take it out. So if they debited your account, what are you going to tell them to do now in the bank recon? If you're going to tell them this transaction, the bank has to rectify that. What are you going to say? Debit or credit, or what are you going to do? How are you going to show in the bank recon that they have to rectify their mistake? This one.
Credit them.
I think it needs to be on the debit side of the bank record.
No, you think wrong, because here they said by mistake, they debited your account with someone else's payment. So if it's debited now in your bank statement, it means you have to tell them to credit.
Because it is the vice versa.
Yeah, that's correct. So because they debited your account, you're going to tell them, no, fix your mistake and take it out of my account because it's not my payment. And then you just say correct error or something like that. You understand? because
Yes.
they did debit your account, but they were not allowed to do it because it was not your payment that had to go through your money. It's not your money that must be taken off for someone else's, whatever it was. So because they debited your account in the bank statement, you're going to tell them now to credit your bank account. Or you tell in the bank statement for them to credit it. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Took you a while to reply, but anyway, let's hope. Okay, the next one. Now, they say, okay, so I'm going to a direct deposit of 4789 was received for an apartment of Mr. Solomon. Okay, let me just direct for rental. Okay, so what now? What are you going to do with that 47895? 4789, sorry. Okay, so a direct deposit was made, but that is what is shown in your bank statement. So it shows in your bank statement that you received money or rent, but where are you going to change it now? If it's showing in the bank statement, where are you going to make the change?
It's going to be on the debit side of your books, which is the bank.
On the bank, true. Yeah. So then you just put here 4789 rent received. Interest received, rent received, whatever. No, or deposit, yeah. Okay, let's just say rent received. But yeah, you have to show it in your bank accounts because it shows in the bank statement, but not in your bank account yet. Okay. So it seems like you're getting the hang of it now. Okay, now the next one, they say you are receiving interest. Remember, this is also on your bank statement that it showed. Bank received on a favorable bank account of 450. Okay, so it shows on your bank statement that you received interest, and it's obviously not in your bank account yet. So if you receive the 450, where are you going to put it?
Under the
Sorry,
right.
debit side, yeah. So yeah, you're just going to say you received interest because you had a positive bank balance and the bank paid you interest. Okay, so that one is still easy. Okay, then just go back to the. Okay, now the next one says a check for 5340. Okay, yes, a check again. So as I say, I'm not sure if they still are asking this in the current, but I'm just showing you for in case. Okay, so here now a check was issued for 53 for a check from a client, but the bank, a check from a client, let's say returned from bank. Ach, toch, from the bank. Or they call it a RT or referred to. But as I say, these days they don't do it to the like that, but I'm not sure if they're still asking it like that. They call it a RT, or what it means is a client paid you 5,340, and then the bank says, no, this person don't have the money, it bounced. It seems like he paid the money, but there's no money and we have to return. Okay. So if you receive a check from someone or a client, a debtor, for 5,340. So the bank already did their change because they said no, there's no money, refer back to the drawer. Where are you going to put it in your bank or your bank recon? Because you have to write the money back that you received, the 5,300. Is it now going to be in your bank account or is it going to be in the bank statement? The bank recon statement, I mean.
On the bank record statement.
No, it's not. It's actually the bank is telling you, listen, this person paid you money, but there's no money. We're going to refer it back to him. We're throwing it back. So it was like this. Now I must write in another color. It was done like this. 5340 that you received from the debtors. You see? But then the bank says, this person, it seems like he paid you money, but there's no money there. So you have to cancel this. So then you're going to write it. Yeah, you have to write it back. Debtors, you see. It's like, let's do it here on the side. Say you have debtors. You received the money, so it was here in the bank. You received the money, 5340. But now the bank says, this person, they don't have the money. You have to rewrite it. So then you're going to put it here again, so that it shows that the person still owes you. Let's just put it as a balance. Then you have to rewrite it back so that it still shows in your books that those people are still owing you the money. Although it seemed like they paid, but now, yeah, their check bounced, or seems like they put money in your bank account, but obviously they didn't do it. You understand? Then you have to reverse. Sorry?
I don't understand, man. Please try again.
Okay. I'm just going to take a bit of this stuff out here. Was maybe all of that. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Mr. Silva.
Yes.
Sorry to interject. May I kindly request those students who are logged in as guests to please provide me with their student numbers on the chat for state purposes.
Okay. Okay. Who's speaking now? Is it Tatu?
No, it's Lungi, the
Wow,
facilitator
was
class.
Lungi. Okay, no, you sound very much like Tatu, and I thought you is Tatu working today.
No,
Okay.
it's not that Tato.
It's
Tato is
Lungi.
from yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you helped me before.
Yes.
Yes, I know exactly who's speaking now. Okay, students, before I go back to this, did you hear? It's a lady of UNISA. She said some of you are joined or linked or whatever as guests, and she wants to do her stats and stuff. So she wants all of your student numbers. So if you can just maybe do it in the chat that she knows exactly who is actually in the class, because it's for the recordings and everything afterwards and the stats and so on. So please just provide your student number to the her name is Lungi, or you can just put it on the chat for UNISA's purposes. Okay. Okay, thank you. I see some of them. Yeah. Okay,
Thank you,
just to
Jacinda.
all right. Uh, okay, I have to do 10 things here. Okay. Okay, just to come back to the question. Okay. So the bank statement says an amount of money, 5,340, showed that, or the bank statement shows you now, that the client that previously paid 5,340, the bank is telling you that the check that they issued to you for payment was actually returned, what they call refer back to the drawer, the RT. The check bounced, or there's no money in the account, and it shows in your books that the client paid 5,340, but actually there's no money. So actually the bank is telling you the amount of money that's in your books showing as a debtor paid their money, you have to change your books in such a way that that person, that it still shows that he's paying the money or he owes you the money. You understand? Someone was asking that question just now. I don't know who it was. So do you understand what the statement says before we do the transaction? Okay, let's do it on a new page. I just want to show you. Let's just do I'll come back to the bank recon now, but say there's a transaction in your books. Debtors pay, what was this? Pay 5,340. Okay, yeah, let's say you received 5,340 from debtors for outstanding, their outstanding balance. So in the debtors account, it was like this. Debtors is more an asset for you, so they had a balance of 5,340. But then according to what they said, is the bank, the debtors paid that amount of money. So it shows that they're not owing that money. And then in your bank account, you received 5,340. Okay, that was the transaction, but that was now a while ago, before you did the bank recon. Okay, so it showed that the debtors paid their money, but then the bank now told you, listen, this 5,340 that you received is actually the money bounced. There's no money in that account, and you have to reverse the transaction because those people actually told you they paid and they issued a check, but they issued you a check that's not working. So then what you have to do, so this 5340 that shows here, you have to reverse the transaction now. So you still have to write here in the bank account, you have to write debtors 5340, and then it goes back to that account. Okay, it actually shows that kind of like if you are paying it, but you're not, you're doing a reverse transaction. And then it still shows here now that there's a balance for debtors. Do you understand? I don't know, someone was asking the question. I didn't catch your name when you asked.
Yes, I do understand, ma'am.
Okay, so you understand now that this was the transaction before, but the one in red is what you should do now. So your bank account must now be a credit.
Okay, yes, I do understand, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Let's just go. No, it's not that one. Yeah. So that's why I wrote now there debtors 5340 in the credit side, because it used to be a previous month, it was on the debit side, but since they didn't pay, you have to put it on the credit side now. Okay. That's why that transaction is like that.
Thanks for clarification, ma'am.
Pleasure. Okay. Let's go on to the next transaction. Okay, where was I now? That one. Okay, let's go to the. Okay, 5340. Okay, then you can also, they can give it to you like this. Just close the door. Sorry. My dog's favorite time to bark is when I'm busy with a class. Okay, now they also say okay, let me just see. Where's my mouse now? Ah, here it is. Okay, when you do, or Mr. Solomon, Mr. Solomon's, the guy that the books are for, the Mr. Solomon's cash payments journals. The CPJ. Okay, so the cash payments journal show the following checks, which let's not put everything. Show the following checks, but it was not. Well, it doesn't. But it does not appear on the bank statements. Okay, so then they give you a few a few checks. Okay. Okay, so it's all payments that you have done. I'm just going to write it down. My space is now a bit small. 3,200, 8450, 5098. 5898. Okay, so I'm not going to write down all the check numbers, but the dates show that, okay, this one is the 1st of August, okay, 2015, and then the others is all for the month that you are working in. So they are all fine. Those 3 is fine. But this one is what they call stale. It after 6 months, a check, if you wrote a check and after 6 months the guy didn't cash it yet, then you have to cancel it in your books. But as I say, this is also maybe an old example. I'm not sure if they still are doing that, but just for in case they are still giving that as a question in your exam papers. So this is now all transactions that appear in your books, in your cash payment journals. But the first one is 2015. So you can see that it's like nearly a year ago and the person didn't cash it yet. So that 3,200 you have to cancel. So sometimes say you get a question like this and they give you checks that's not been or is not appearing on the bank statement, then you have to go and look. There was actually another example I wanted to do. I'm just thinking of it now. Anyway, doesn't matter. But so all of these, 8508, all of those, you must still go and put in your bank statement, in your bank recon. But that 3,200, you must actually cancel. So where are you going to cancel that 3,200? Oh, I see we're running out of time. Okay, quick. See, it's already, okay. The 3,200, remember now, if checks are issued, you made the already in your bank account, but then the one account that you want to cancel or the one check that you have to cancel, you're going to put back into your bank account. And the others, you're going to, let me just now see the amounts. 8450 5098 5998, and then you just say outstanding checks that's not been put through the bank statement yet. But if there's something that a check is stale, or you must look at the dates, or it's also something that you have to reverse, it works to the same. Then because it was a payment, now you're just going to put it on the debit side. You understand? And then the other one, they just going to say there's outstanding deposits again, and then you just put it into the accounts and you do the balancing. Okay, sorry, I see we're running out of time, so yeah. And then in the end, you're going to balance your account. Okay, let's quickly do, let me just see that. Okay, then it also, in your cash receipts journal, in your cash receipts journal, your CRJ, it shows that there's 2 deposits. I'm just going to write it like that. 4897. That's not appearing in the ink statement yet. So it appears in your books, but it's not appearing in the statements, deposits. So then you're just going to put those into the bank recon again. I actually want to do another example, but I see we're running out of time. We'll do it in at the Saturday if you still don't understand. Okay, but anyway, so if they say in the cash receipts journal, there's deposits that you showed. So even if they say cash receipts is actually just the debit side of your bank account. So they say there's some deposits that you wrote there, but it's not appearing in the bank statements. Then you just go to your bank recon and you just say outstanding deposits. Outstanding deposits. And then you just put it on the credit side. For 897. Okay, so I'm going to close this one now. And then your balancing figure, I'll show you now, 26099. This is your balance as per bank account. 45645 45645. Okay, so this 26 was here. If you just balance it, sorry, I'm just rushing a bit now because I see it's nearly 11 o'clock. This will be your balance here. And that's a balance that's going to be in your bank recon. 35959. 35959. And this amount is what's going to your, just move down the screen a bit. That balancing figure in your bank account is going to the debit side. So that's why it's also on the debit side of your bank recon. Okay. There was another example that I prepared, but when we do the exam preparations, then I'll quickly show you one on that. And then, because I see we're running out of time. Do you more or less understand how to do a bank recon? It's actually not that difficult. You just have to go and sit and think what must go to your bank accounts and what did the bank do wrong or didn't do that they still have to do, and then you put that in the bank recons. And the only other thing of bank recon that you must remember, everything is working opposite to the way that it's working in your books, except for the last balance. That one you keep as is. Any questions?
Ma'am,
Yes.
see that the outstanding checks on our bank, it was on the deposit side, but still under the bank recon, we put it on the debit side again.
Okay, but remember, are you referring now to this? Okay, Okay, let me just get my pen there. Are you referring to this 8 for this?
Yes, yes.
Okay, but remember, it's already in your books. In your books, it's written on this side. Because remember, let me just make it another color. Remember, if you make payments, it's going to be on your credit side.
Account.
Yes, on your bank account. So those outstanding checks mean that it's coming from your books. You put it already on the credit side, but you
Or
must go and
it's the amount that you were paying.
yes,
Or
you
rather,
already put it through your books,
oh,
but the bank didn't do it yet. It's the same with the next one. When in your books, it shows that you have deposits of this 5,600 and 4,897, but the bank is not showing it yet. So just to go back, because yeah, it says your cash receipts journal. So it's in your books. Even if it's cash receipts journal, it's still your bank account. The bank account is just like a summary. Cash, remember your, let me just go back. Where is it now? The cash receipts is actually your debit side of your bank. Cash receipts journal, cash payments journal is actually your credit side of your bank account. So obviously the cash payments journal is just a more extensive journal doing all the payments and stuff, but it's still payments is on your credit side and whatever you received is in your cash receipts journal. So deposits and whatever you receive on the debit side. So whatever should be on the debit side of bank must go to the credit side of the bank recon.
thank you, ma'am. I understand.
All right. Okay. That's why I'm here. More questions? Hope you understand bank recons. Just by, okay, not a show of hands or whatever. So next Saturday, I'm not going to give a workshop, but the Saturday after that, I will. Is there something specific that you want me to explain? Some topic that I must do for on the workshops? Because there's two Saturdays that I must that's available for your exam preparations. Some
Yes,
specific requests?
yes, there is. But I'm not
What?
sure how you call it. So I'll send
What?
an email. But from the
Okay.
news side, it was study unit 6. So I'll just send an email what they call it
Um,
actually.
yes, I need a bit more information than that because I don't have a study guide. So I rely on, yeah, I've got some books and yeah, I think they did send me a tutorial letter, so maybe I can go and check there. But there's 3 subjects that they sent me tutorial letters on. So yeah, just say it's cash payments or it's VAT control or whatever else you should be able to do. Just give me a
Yes,
topic because
yes,
yeah, then okay. Or if you have maybe, as I say, an assessment question or exam question, something like that, that I just have a bit more clues to what I should do. But as I say, there's another example on bank recons that I can also do. But yeah, it depends on what the students are asking me to do because I've got no clue what you do know and what you don't know, what you're struggling with. So it's for your preparations and for your advantage if you just tell me or give me certain topics that I can explain to you. Okay, more questions? Nothing. But yeah, as I say, please send me as soon as possible because it also takes time to prepare. I'm a lecturer at the university at the Free State as well. So I have to prepare for the workshop. So if you can just as soon as possible tell me what is it that you're struggling with that I can help you with. Then I'll see you in 2 weeks' time.